You rehearsed it.
You knew every single word. You stood up to present.
It's gone.
Every word, every single point, just gone. Nothing.
If this sounds terrifyingly familiar, I need you to hear this. This isn't a memory problem. You're not broken, and your brain isn't failing you. Actually, it's doing exactly what it was designed to do, to keep you alive. The problem? It's reacting to the wrong threat.
So, to really get why your mind goes blank, we've got to talk about your brain's security guard. It's this little part called the amygdala, and you can think of it as a tiny, very jumpy bodyguard.
See, your brain basically has two modes. Most of the time, you're in normal mode. Your prefrontal cortex, the logical, rational part of your brain, is driving the car. It handles complex stuff like, retrieving the points for your presentation. But when your brain senses danger, and trust me, being stared at by a group of people totally counts as danger to our ancient wiring, it switches to threat mode. And that's when the amygdala yanks the steering wheel and slams on the panic button.
This event has a name, and it's perfect. It's called an amygdala hijacked. And that's literally what happens. Your amygdala hijacks all the resources from your thinking brain and diverts them to pure survival. All of a sudden, remembering slide number 3 is not a priority. Not getting eaten by a predator is.
Now, the fancy science term for this is prefrontal cortex downregulation, but let's just call it what it feels like. Stress takes your thinking brain completely offline. And I mean offline. It's not just slowing down, it's a temporary, total shutdown.
Right, so, in that moment of pure panic, this is the question that screams in your head, isn't it? Is it all gone? Did I just forget everything I worked so hard on? And here is the huge, wonderful relief. No, absolutely not. The information isn't gone. Not at all. It's just inaccessible. Your brain has basically locked it in a super secure vault while it deals with the emergency. And that's why the second you sit down and feel safe, whoosh, it all comes flooding back. The threat is gone, and your brain lets the thinking part come back online.
Okay, so that's the whole hijack part of the story. But what is actually happening in that split second when you freeze? Well, it really just comes down to your brain running out of bandwidth. Think of your brain's working memory like the RAM on your computer. It's what you're actively using right now. And here's the catch. It is tiny. Most people can only juggle about 4 to 7 things in their working memory at any given time. That's it.
Now, look what happens when you're presenting. Think about everything competing for those few precious slots. Of course, there's your actual presentation content, but you're also thinking about the audience. You're monitoring yourself, how you sound, how you look, you're feeling your heart race or your palms sweat. And then there's the big one, the absolute killer. You're worrying about forgetting.
And this is the cruelest part. The very fear of going blank is what causes you to go blank. It creates this vicious feedback loop. The worry itself starts eating up your limited working memory. That makes you more likely to actually forget something, which, of course, just makes you worry even more. It's a spiral.
And this is why it feels so sudden, so jarring. It's not a slow fade to black. The amygdala doesn't do maybe. It's a binary system. It flips a switch, click, from okay to threat. 1 second you're fine, the next second a brick wall comes down in your mind.
So that's the science behind the problem. Kinda scary, right? Well, here's the good news. Once you understand the machine, you can start to learn how to operate it. You can build a toolkit to prevent that shutdown and, just as important, to recover quickly if it does happen.
All right, first, let's talk prevention. The main goal here is to lighten the load on your brain. So don't try to memorize a full script word for word. That's just too much to hold on to under pressure. Instead, really know your key points and how you'll get from one to the next. Use your notes like an external hard drive for your brain. And this is a big one. Practice under a little bit of stress. Present to a friend, record yourself on video. This helps your brain learn that it can access the information even when it's feeling a little anxious.
Now here is a fantastic, almost secret tactic. That blank moment usually happens right at the beginning, so memorize your opening. Just the first minute. Nail it down cold. This lets you start on autopilot, giving that initial jolt of adrenaline time to settle down so your thinking brain can catch up and take over. But okay, what if it happens anyway? What do? Here's your 4-step emergency plan. 1. Just pause. Take a breath. It will feel like an hour to you, I promise, but the audience will barely register it. 2. Acknowledge it calmly. Just say, you know what, let me just check my notes for a second. It's normal. That's what notes are for. 3. Check your notes. find your place. And 4, proceed. And hey, remember, nobody has your script. If you need to skip an entire section to get back on track, do it. No one will ever know.
So, those are the tactics, the in-the-moment fixes. But the real goal, the long-term solution, is to stop your amygdala from hitting that big red panic button in the first place.
And what this all comes down to is retraining your brain's threat response. You have to teach that little security guard, the amygdala, that public speaking is not the same thing as being chased by a lion. You have to show it, through experience, that you are not in mortal danger.
If you remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. Going blank does not mean you're unprepared. It doesn't mean you're a bad speaker. The information was always there, tucked away safely. Your brain just needs to learn that it's safe to access it.
If you're ready to stop hiding and start speaking, visit nervless.app today. Practice until the fear fades.